Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Imagine going back to Allah and then realizing that Islam was actually the way of life. Islam was the deen chosen by the one true God, and there's no God but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Imagine dying, then facing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, having done horrible things regarding the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is the case of this boy called Smoking Skills. He's 28, from what his friend said. This guy is currently dead, but before he died, he did lots and lots of things that mocking Islam, mocking what is currently happening in Gaza. And this is how it all started. Before continuing, I just want you to know that I have a Telegram channel that you can join. In this channel, I post content I wouldn't post on YouTube due to censorship, or I can get strike because of this content. So you can join me there, following the link in the description, or you can go to your Telegram channel, go to the search bar, then search for Muslim reactions. You would find me, then you can join me. So this is how it all started, with this sister Aya Ismin posting a post about what's happening in Gaza, trying to create awareness, and she made a post of a young boy crying. This guy is totally white, and this is as a result of what happened after the bombardment. This guy is totally white, covered in cement, and all that. And then this guy called Smoking Skills decided to make a mockery of Islam, of the current situation in Gaza, by using this same image, because it really went viral. It had, I think, over 5 million views. So he decided to make this image a mockery out of this image. He took this image and decided to add the image to an ongoing ad of a cream. So he added it to be the fourth image. They have 3 images. One is a bit dark, the other one is a bit light. These are the stages that you go through when you use the cream. A bit light, then light. Okay, so now he added this image to show that you can go even further by becoming totally white. And it simply shows that after realizing that his former tweet was really going viral. You can imagine someone having over 120,000 followers on Twitter. You can imagine how far this post would go, especially when he mocks Islam and the Muslims. And I think a day or so later, he made another post showing this dude that is totally covered in excrement, in feces, and saying this is Gaza now. Subhanallah. He's trying to show how these guys are in total mess. These guys are defeated, trying to mock that these guys are nothing but shit. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decided to make an example from him. And this guy, subhanallah, we later realized that this guy, few days later, after making that post, he died. And his friend said this about him: "Saddened to hear about the death of my close friend and associate, Smoking Skills. I believe this is now Smoking Hell. He was just 28 years old and a lovely spirit with a bright future. He passed away in the early hours while he was using the washroom. His roommate found him later in the morning covered in his own excrement." And then he went further, describing exactly what happened in detail. Saying something in this line that this guy went to the washroom and he was defecating. So all of a sudden his heart stopped, or he had, palpitations. His heart began to palpitate. Then he fell. And, since he was, defecating, he continued. He couldn't stop. Then he soaked himself in his own feces. Just exactly what he posted a few days back. The tweet he posted saying Gaza now. So now this is Smoking Skills now. Totally covered in his own feces. And this is how he died. This is how he was found. You see, the way he mocked Islam, this is exactly how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decided to deal with him, and then made him as an example for others to learn. And for those that don't want to learn, the same fate awaits them. Seriously, I don't really understand what is stopping people from taking the Quran, from picking the Quran and reading for themselves. Why is Islam the fastest growing religion? What is in the Quran that people are so much attached to it? I should learn something. It is better for you to learn than for you to mock something you totally have no idea of. So after going into detail about what really happened to him, his friend continued and said, "A very sad way to die." Yes, indeed, a very sad way, a horrible way to die. Because when you mock people and you don't care about their feelings, you don't care about what they really feel, this is, subhanAllah, you can imagine what these people are facing. They are facing bombs on a daily basis. Their relatives are dying. Their people are dying. You can imagine waking up one morning with your whole family complete. Then reaching the evening, just you alone. I've seen a video of a man. He took his kids to a refugee camp only for him to hear that his 3 kids are dead. They've been bombed. You can imagine the situation of these people, but then all you know what to do is to mock these people. Like I said, if you don't learn from this guy, the same fate awaits you. But he lived a life of kindness and happiness, except when it comes to the Muslims and Islam. Okay, these are the exception. Okay, I wish this guy made this exception there. Except when it comes to Islam and Muslims, because obviously when you go back to the streets, you would see that these are the people. We've seen videos from Indians, saying that they are tolerant when it comes to other religion. When it comes to Islam, when it comes to Muhammad, the Quran, they don't care. They would kill as much as they can. And we've seen this happening in India. So when it comes to Muslim and Islam, these are exceptions. They are not kind and happy with us. So he said, he never said ill about anyone, and again, except the Muslims and Islam. And only wished for more happiness in this world, except for Muslims and Islam. And this is evident in what he has been posting on his Twitter account. And this reminds me of a verse. And this verse is very important for those that, mock Islam, for those that mock Islam for no just reason. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in Surah Al-Ibrahim, وَلَا تَحْسَبَنَّ اللَّهَ غَافِلًا عَمَّا يَعْمَلُ الظَّالِمُونَ. And do not think Allah is unaware of what the wrongdoers do, of what the evil people do. Do not think Allah is unaware. Allah is totally aware. Allah further said, إِنَّمَا يُؤَخِّرُهُمْ. Allah is only leaving them, granting them respite. لِيَوْمٍ, to a day. That day will surely come, and this guy has met his day. لِيَوْمٍ تَشْخَصُ فِيهِ الْأَبْصَارُ. To that day that the eyes will stare in horror. Subhanallah. Subhanallah. And this is the fate of this other guy. Smoking skills becomes smoking hell. And in this situation, there's no going back. I hope you would learn a lesson from this. It is better to remain quiet than for you to mock the pains of others. So with this, I say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.